Hello everyone, myself Ami Mehta, and now here we discuss input output function on file, which is one is getc putc, now another is getw and putw. So the getw and putw are integer oriented function and they are similar to the getc and putc function, are used to read and write integer values. So these are the four integer values. This function would be useful when we deal with only integer data. So the general form of getw and putw are putw in bracket integer value and file pointer. So the value which we want to put on the file, that is in the first argument, and on which file that file pointer is in the second argument. And the same for the getw, from which file we want to get the integer value, that file pointer we mention in the argument of getw. So this way we can use same function like getc and putc, but for pure integer data. So let us see the example of it. So let us start the example. So first basically we include header files stdio.h, conio.h. So basically this program is for what? We are actually demonstrating the getw and putw function, which is basically for integer type and in file. Okay, so a file name data contains a series of integers number. So basically a file which name is data and it contains a series of integer numbers. So now what we want to do, we are coding a program to read these numbers and then write all even number at one file and all odd number at one file. So the number which is stored in the number which are odd and which is stored in file odd, name file odd, and the data with the number which is actually even, this is stored in file named even. Okay, so the file name is like odd and even. So in odd file odd numbers will be stored, and even file even numbers will be stored. Okay, so we have to create that type of program. Okay, so okay, let us start with now our main function after including header file. And now we are creating file pointer, actually three file pointer for three file data, odd and even. So for data file pointer f1, for example odd it is f2 and even it is f3. Okay, so now let us take one integer variable number and one variable I. Now we are using one for loop to get the data from the user. So we are here writing contents of data file. So we are storing first all general data in the file name data. So for that we are opening one file in writing mode, which is data. Okay, so this is it. And now we are taking one for loop to get the numbers of data up to 30. We are approximately took it 30, and we write that data into the file name data, and for that we are using putw. Okay, so here we write %d ampersand number, and if the number which is equal to -1, it means now there is no data to write in the file. But if it is not, then we put or write that data into the file name data for that number and the file pointer f1. Okay, so this is the for loop. Now we are closing the file data, which is the, using file pointer f1. Now we are dividing the data into two parts, odd numbers and even numbers. Odd numbers are in odd file, even numbers are in even file. So for that, again we are opening that file into reading mode, and from that we are reading the data. But first of all, basically now we are opening again two file, odd and even, in writing mode. And we are opening in writing mode, so it's actually created, new file created. So here we are writing, actually we are getting the number from the file data. So we write while number is not equal to end of file. So number which actually we are getting from the data file is not and what we check, if the number modulo 2 is equal to 0 or not. If module 2 is 0, then the number is even, otherwise it is odd. So if the module of 2 is 0, we write that number into the file even, which is f3. Otherwise we are put that number into the file odd, which is indicated by file pointer f2. So here we write number comma f2. Okay, and now we are closing f1, f2 and f3. Okay, now what we want, we are displaying that content onto the screen. So first we open the odd file and even file in reading mode. Now we don't want it in writing mode, so we are opening it in reading mode. So here it is even and in reading mode, and we are printing content of odd file again. We have to write that if it is not end of file, up to that point we have to print on the screen. So here we write number is equal to getw, which is actually used to get integer from the file not equal to end of file, print on the screen. Now we are printing the content of the E1 file. And again we are using while loop, while number is equal to getw f3 not equal to end of file, then printf that number on the screen. So to write the integer number onto the file, we are using putw, and to get that number from the file, we are using getw. And we are closing now both the file f2 and f3. And here also our end of program. So we write getch and then compile our program and run it. So the contents of data file we are entering 1, 2, 78, 56, 33, then 93 and 27. Now we are entering -1, which is end of file. So the content of old file is 1, 33, 93, 27. And the content of even file is 278 and 56. So this is the example. Thank you.